Last time on Shadow Peace, our journey towards the home of the giants, the great island of Elbaf, has started. There was a little conflict between Sanji and the giants, but besides that, the venture was uneventful. Now we are in front of the titanic gates blocking the entrance to the fabled island's upwards river. It really is a masterful work of art and like nothing Moria has ever seen before in the real world. One can only try to imagine the architect's talent.
Say, Irodin, how do we open this gate? Or will your fellow Elbathians just do it for us?
Moria asks for some information. After all, if they just continue to sail forward, they will crash into the construct. Ah yes, we should take care of this. This gate is also known as the Titan's Mouth. Many just rammed into it and their ships got destroyed. Basically, they got eaten. While they didn't know it, their attempt wasn't entirely stupid. The Titan's Mouth is the first of two tests to see if you are worthy of entering Elbaf. All there is to this trial is to hit the gate with enough force so that a mechanism gets activated. Then it will open for the warriors. Moria continues to laugh. Hyrodine's answer fits right in with all the stories he heard about Elbaf. Straight at the entrance, they are already trying to find out if you are a warrior or not. The Shadow Emperor pulls back his sleeves and is readying himself for an attack, when Absalom climbs up to the pair. Moria, I overheard your conversation. Let me do this. Absalom, the Dark Messiah, is looking determined. It may only be because of a mistake the world government made, but right now I am technically the captain of this crew. You don't need to step up for something so menial. Some might think Absalom is trying to push Moria out of his position of power, but these two are best friends. They have nothing against each other. Everything they do is to somehow support the other. And this time, the Lion Man hybrid just wants to prove to Moria and himself that he has grown more powerful. The giant gleams with joy when his savior from Dressrosa wants to take the initiative, and with Moria's approval, the Titan's Mouth challenge will be carried out by Absalom alone. If you think, why don't people just use every fighter, cannon and attack method they have on their ship, you are thinking the exact same thing as Moria. So, Hyrrodine quickly explains a bit about the origin of the Titan's Mouth and the accompanying challenge. This gate and the trial of power have existed since ancient times. Even our current elders can only tell stories they heard from others in the past. All we know is that they are almost a millennium old. He takes a deep breath for a moment, giving Moria and Absalom some time to digest the information about ancient lore. This even predates the Void Century after all. And why only one person can attack the gate is because of the complex mechanism built into it. Once the first person has landed an attack against the gate, there is a 6-second time frame in which you can continue blasting off techniques. If you show enough power in these 6 seconds, you will succeed the challenge and the gate will open. Any questions, Dark Messiah? Hyrrodine looks at Absalom with much anticipation. While the quasi-captain of the Strawhat Pirates is strong and has changed a lot from his pure pirate days, the people that were present during the Dressrosa incident see him in a slightly more elevated position. A true hero sent by gods to save them all. Absalom strokes the lion part of his face like someone would do with a beard. Just one thing, Hyrrodine. This whole thing seems a bit inconvenient for you people who leave Elbaf regularly. Or is the requirement to open it just really low? This comment stung a bit. Hyrrodine scratches the back of his head, a bit embarrassed before answering. Well, I don't think that the power requirement is low. Even with my strongest attacks, I can't get the door to open. However, I am for sure a lot weaker than you are, Dark Messiah. Absalom didn't mean to attack the giant. He is just gathering all the information he can before jumping into battle. His words today are a bit careless, but his head has been trying to figure out a lot of things in these recent days. I have no idea about the technology, but apparently the gate can somehow feel if you are a group of giants or if there is somebody else with you. As soon as there is at least one non-giant, the gate won't open without the test. And even then, the king has a method to seal the Titan's Mouth completely, making it the ultimate shield for Elbaf. Everything he said is correct. An enormous gate with ancient technology denying anybody from entering is the perfect defense. In addition, if people want to climb up the natural cliff of Elbaf, they are in for a ride. While it is nowhere near as high as climbing up Sonisha's legs, the climb is riddled with loose rocks, steep inclines, even sections where the mountain grows outwards, taking away any footing. For anyone that can't fly, Elbaf truly is an impregnable fortress of a nation. With all that knowledge, Absalom tells the two spectators to take a few steps back, as he is about to start. Deep breaths. His last battle was against the late All-Star Queen. Absalom was scared for his life, but having a close death experience is something that has pushed him further beyond. The Dark Messiah lets out a small chuckle before thinking to himself, "Yeah, I will keep this one for some other time. That one will do the trick." With multiple new tricks up his sleeves, Absalom is preparing to jump off the edge of the thriller bark, straight at the gate. His feet get pushed deep into the ground by the force of his body, and with one great leap, he jumps off. In less than a second, he flies through the air, swinging both his human arm and the bazooka backwards. The wind generated by his arm movements can even be felt by Maria and Hyrodine back on the thriller bark. One last time, Absalom inhales air before screaming with all of his might, "Maximum! Magni! Magnum!" Speed is one key to power. While he swings his arms back, they ignite and flames get generated. But that's not all. What goes one way also has to come back. Using the centrifugal force from swinging his arms back, they get thrown forward even faster, a speed surpassing anything Absalom has ever done before, going so fast that lightning forms around his arms. Combining these forces of nature together with the powers of his will boosts the strength of that attack even further. Before leaving Wano, Absalom also learned the ways of Ryo, or advanced armament haki, from the sword god Yuma. The sound of metal on metal and flesh on metal echoes for miles upon miles, and with one, the gigantic gate smashes open and crashes into the mountain walls. Hyrodine's jaw drops in amazement. In all of his 81 years on this planet, he has not seen the Titan's mouth get opened by such a force. Without noticing himself, he starts whispering, "This has to be 5 bells." Maria looks at him a bit confused. What bells is he murmuring about? Is this a unit of measurement in Elbaf? However, his question quickly gets answered. Absalom used the force of the recall to get knocked back onto the ship, but even before he returned, the chimes of bells starts. All throughout Elbaf, those bells can be heard, and the Elbaf natives stand up to listen to the melody. For the first bell, they just stand up and listen. Some of the warriors start to laugh in amusement. With the second bell, the working giants stop whatever they are doing and join the others listening. As the third bell starts to ring, the giants on the thriller bark leave the castle and look up to Hyrodine and the others standing in an elevated position. With the fourth bell, even the giants that are currently having practice battles start listening. Now all of them are rushing towards the same location, in anticipation of what will come next. Chaos breaks out within the villages of Elbaf, as a massive wave of giants runs up the mountain towards a building in the center of all villages. And then the fifth bell can be heard. Now literally everybody drops whatever they are doing, and the first giants reach the center building. In front of it, an imposing giant with a long beard can be seen, and all of the others start throwing words at him. "Is he back? We thought he died. Please tell us, what does it mean?" Question upon question, but what unites them all is one thing. All of the giants enter the question with the name of the awe-inspiring giant standing in front of them. King Od. To be continued. That's all from today's episode of Shadow Piece. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to all of the future episodes because the Elbaf arc is just about to start. And now all that's left for me to say is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro out. Bye.